Welcome to Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. We're America's podcast.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, I'm Nicholas. I'm joined by our running guru, Jeremy,
What's going on,
And-
guys?
and full sticker advocate, Justin.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
I love how our titles are just based on what we did the previous weekend.
Yeah.
I
pretty
love it.
much, yeah.
Haven't bought a sticker in months. So I'm kind of in recovery now.
Oh, okay. I guess then we're joined by Justin, recovering sticker addict.
Yeah. Getting the shakes.
All right. So let's just dive right in. We'll get right to the big Hollywood news. The most important thing that came out of Hollywood this week. Some earth-shattering news. Beverly Hills Cop 4 with Eddie Murphy.
Wow. I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
I can see the just excitement on the face. Oh,
Yeah.
Everybody.
yeah. That's about the level of excitement that I expected. I listen. I mean, look, Justin. Quick look up, when was Beverly Hills Cop 3 made?
Gotcha.
The first two Beverly Hills Cop movies are a lot of fun. The third one, not so good. The fourth one, what are you gonna do? Like, what well do you go back to?
Yeah. Do they have a premise? Is there details?
Other than the fact that Axel Foley was a cop from Detroit who moved out to LA and became like a detective out there. So like he's a, hard-boiled Midwesterner living, in a fish out of water kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
The third one came out in 94.
Okay.
So it's 84, 87, 94.
Wow. So
27 years ago. Be 28 years. 28 years in between 3 and 4.
Pretty sure he might be retired at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I know a couple years ago they almost did Beverly Hills Cop the series where Michael B. Jordan was going to play Eddie Murphy's son, and he was on the force. And for whatever reason, that kind of fell apart. I mean, probably good for Michael B. Jordan because he got to do Creed and Black Panther and some other stuff that he probably wouldn't have been able to do had he been stuck on a TV series. But yeah. But yeah, okay. So that news not so interesting. We'll move on from that.
well, I mean, I don't know about all these resurgent things. What about did you see the Coming to America sequel?
Yes.
Was that good?
It was not as bad as I expected it to be.
Okay.
Like, I mean, Coming to America is a movie that I saw for the first time this year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we did have this conversation back when we were first starting our series up again. But yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, so it's not like I've got this, like, love for this, 35, 40-year-old movie that a lot of other people have. Like, I'm not like, oh, my God, Coming to America. I saw that in the theaters in 86, and this was the greatest movie ever. And so, like, I saw it, and then, like, a couple months later, Coming to America came out. And I watched it. It was fun. I mean, it was not as good as the first one.
Yeah.
But, it wasn't bad. I mean, like, you have comedies where you have like Dumb and Dumber and then Dumb and Dumberer.
Hmm.
Like that one wasn't bad, but then you had like Anchorman, and then like 10, 15 years later you had The Abomination that was Anchorman 2
Yeah, yeah.
or Zoolander, and the even bigger Abomination that was Zoolander 2.
I still have never seen the sequel to that. I,
You're not wasting your time.
Yeah, you're not missing a whole lot with that one.
It's not good.
I mean, it's like you can only get smacked in the nose so many times before you got to learn. I mean, I watched all those other sequels and I was like, come on. So, yeah, all right.
Well,
I won't check it out.
I don't learn. I keep watching that. Oh, Coming to America? Coming to America? Oh, you put a 2 in the title. Oh, that's
You
funny.
got it.
I'll watch it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. One of these times, though, I mean, maybe it'll work out.
One of these times it's going to be like, oh my God, this is the greatest movie ever.
Mhm.
How did it take 30 years to figure this one out?
Yeah.
But most of the time, I think you're going to end up with a Anchorman 2.
Oh,
Yeah, unfortunately.
Terminator 3.
Yeah. So I've been stuck. I don't have a segue for this. I've been trying to think of a way to segue into some of these stories, but I got nothing.
Maybe we could put some magical sound effects in.
Oh,
Do the Wayne's World.
Yeah.
So I've been stuck in this 90s nostalgia recently.
Nice.
I've been on either iTunes or Pandora. I guess not iTunes now. Apple Music. That's how old I am. I've been just clicking like 90s alternative hits or 90s alternative mix, and then I'll just listen till I hear a band where I'm like, yes, I love that band, and then I'll just listen to their like full album.
Mhm.
So I've been hardcore going on like Our Lady Peace and Seven Mary 3 or just a
Nice.
lot, nuts, Offspring, like bands that like when I was in late high school, college, I couldn't, that I listened to all
Mhm.
the time. And obviously this week also Pearl Jam 10, one of the greatest albums ever made, turned 30.
Wow.
Disagree with me. Come on, I see it.
You're waiting. I mean, I don't want to open a can of worms, but best ever made. Interesting choice.
Well, come on.
It's
It's
good.
one of-
It's really good.
I didn't say best ever made. I said one of.
Okay. Fair.
I mean,
does one of classifiers like top 5, top 10, top 3?
I would say probably in the top 5.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, plus you have to put it in the historical context of like it changed music. I mean, when 10 came out, I mean, Nirvana Nevermind had been around for a little bit. And then, Alice in Chains Dirt came out shortly thereafter. So Soundgarden had Bad Motorfinger, but that didn't hit didn't get them going until they put out Super Unknown. But really it was Nirvana Nevermind and Pearl Jam 10 that changed the entire decade of music of the 90s. Like you had them put out their albums in 91, 92. No, they both would have been 91. Well, Nevermind might have been 90. But anyway, it completely changed rock radio. It changed rock music. Rock music at that point was all hair metal and glam metal
Mm-hmm.
and it was big, bold, women's shoulder pads and bouffant hair,
Yeah.
and then these guys came out and it was just like raw, just show up however you were dressed off
Mhm.
the street and just, it wasn't, power ballads anymore. It was just raw, emotional, like, stuff that mattered kind of, and it changed. I mean, the main rock radio station in Atlanta dropped its entire format and started a whole new way of doing it because of those bands that just all kind of came out. I know a lot of them came out of Seattle, but it wasn't just Seattle, but that Seattle sound, that grunge.
Mhm.
You know, they basically didn't create alternative music. Alternative music has always been around. I mean, you go back to Devo and They Might Be Giants and people like that before,
Mhm.
you know, in the 80s, but they revolutionized what music was. And if you look at the 90s, you see what Pearl Jam and Nirvana did for that entire decade, you know,
Yeah.
with what they did for the music and what the music did for the fashion. I mean, we all started wearing flannel and growing our hair long, and
I mean, some of us still do
Yeah.
that.
yeah, that is
Yeah, I mean, I won't fight you on this, I guess.
but that does lead me to my next story about Nirvana. So we know the classic, like, iconic Nirvana Nevermind album cover, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there are a few album covers that are burned into people's minds. Pink
I think-
Floyd.
I think
Pink
about that
Floyd.
naked baby at least once a day.
But you got Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. You got the Beatles, Abbey Road. You know, you got albums like that. But then you also get to the Nirvana Nevermind, where you
Mhm.
got a naked baby chasing a dollar bill.
Right.
Well, that kid, I didn't write his name down. His name's not important.
Fuck it.
Well, he's a douche.
Is he?
Yeah. Normally, well, yeah, he is. So he's up for douche.
Trying to get free stuff still like 30 years later.
So 30
I'm
plus 30.
not paying for this coffee. I was that baby.
So for 30 plus years, this kid has been living off of this album. Like every 5 years, he'll like recreate it or like pose next to the picture,
Oh.
or my understanding of it is that he literally has in like 2 or 3 inch block letters, never mind, tattooed on his chest.
Oh boy.
Like he has constantly been trying to dine off this album because he was, a couple of months old when his parents threw him in a pool, and some fancy art photographer was like, "Yeah, pictures, click, click, click."
Yeah.
He is suing Nirvana. So Dave Grohl, Kurt Novoselic, and the estate of Kurt Cobain, all the record producers and everybody, for $150,000 each. Anybody? Have either of you heard this story yet?
I haven't heard this. No.
No.
Okay, all right. So if you had to take a guess as to what his reason for trying to sue Nirvana would be, what would you think?
Defamation of character. He's saying
Okay.
that the album makes people think he's got a small wiener.
Okay, all right.
That's a good answer.
What would you think?
Oh man. I mean, that's
Oh, I got another one. Child abuse, getting thrown into a pool.
I would
Okay.
say limiting his job opportunities.
Okay.
Exploitation.
Justin is getting close. He is suing them for child pornography.
Oh,
Oh,
oh my god. But he's been making money off the back of that album cover for 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna throw this case out like immediately.
how much do you think he's made off that album in the last 30 years?
There's no telling, because the big thing in the article that I was reading was that his parents, like, because I guess his parents like knew the art photographer who was just doing like some sort of random art project, and they're like, "Oh, you just had a kid, bring him down, let's throw him in the pool," and like so they signed the release for like $500. So like his parents were like, "Whoa!" They had, I mean, obviously nobody had ever heard of Nirvana. Nobody had ever, nobody knew that album was going to blow up the way it did, and that Smells Like Teen Spirit would be, one of the most iconic songs of grunge ever.
Mhm.
But so, obviously they probably were like, wow, we should have done more than ask for $500. But it's too late now. And
Wow.
like you said, he's been dining off this album for 30 years.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
like to
but-
know what he's made in royalties off that album over the last 30 years. 'Cause
He's
then they-
made nothing. He's made nothing in royalties.
Oh, I say if he made anything off of it for the biggest picture,
No.
all right, we want all of that money back.
But to say that it's child porn and he wants to sue for this and that. First off, the government was forced. Now, Justin, you might remember this. Jeremy, I doubt you do. Back in the day before digital cameras, you had to take your little roll of film and you had to go to Walmart or Target or Walgreens and put it in an envelope and then put the envelope in a box. And then like a week later, you'd go back and they'd give you all the pictures. And then you'd look through the pictures.
It'd be in that canister. You'd have to take it in, call them. Are my pictures done yet?
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
And then you'd look through the pictures. And then invariably there was always like one or two pictures missing or like,
Something in the background you didn't know was happening.
yeah,
right. But they had to change, not the law, but they had to lay out more evenly what the law was. Because when you're printing these photos out, the people who are printing them out are obviously also looking at them.
right.
Yes.
So if they ever saw something that was illegal, it was upon them to call the police or just throw the pictures away. And there was a number of busybody women, could have been men, but probably mostly women, who would call the cops on parents for like the sitting on the potty picture or the first bath picture, or, all those embarrassing pictures that your mom loves to pull out when you bring your date over.
Yeah.
The embarrassing, like, oh look, he was 3 and running around naked,
Yeah.
playing cowboy.
Here's in
Well-
here's in the tub playing with a rubber duck.
Yeah,
Right. So the government had to be like, that's not child porn. That's just parents being dicks.
right.
Yeah.
yeah,
So they were very clear about like what the definition of child porn is compared to what pictures of parents just thinking they're being funny or taking a cute picture. That therefore classifies the Nirvana cover as not child porn.
right.
In
So
fact,
case
I guess-
closed.
Yeah, basically. So case closed.
Judge Nicholas is throwing the case out.
But I guess during the creation of the album or the album art, some
Yeah.
of the record producers kind of got a little nervous about it.
Uh-huh.
Understandable. You have a band that really isn't well known that
Yeah.
wants to put a naked baby on their cover. And a naked baby that's got the penis hanging out,
Right,
like very clearly.
right.
And so Kurt Cobain came up with a response to it. He said he'd put a sticker on the plastic on the outside of the album
Mhm.
that said, if you have a problem with this, you're the pedophile.
Nice, good answer.
The record label went, let's just pretend like there's nothing wrong with it and ignore this situation altogether. So clearly Cobain himself knew that this could be an issue,
yeah,
but
so he
also
had something
saw,
loaded up and ready to.
yeah, and so saw it as a like, it's not child porn. If you think it's child porn, you're the problem.
Right.
Like not
Yeah.
not us.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So we're
So-
saying this guy is douche of the week.
Yeah, and I mean he's clearly just out for money. I
Yeah.
mean you don't.
I mean,
you don't
aren't we
get
all
the-
out for money? That's the meaning of
Yeah,
life.
But the
mean-
ways of going about it.
Yeah. Some people put in the hard work. And some people sue for something stupid.
Yeah, exactly. I read the article a little bit. It said that he finally had the courage now to do it. It's like, well, dude, you wouldn't have done all those photo shoots and stuff before if you had such a problem.
I finally had the courage. You have Nevermind tattooed on your chest.
Yeah, like, dude, come on.
Like
Yeah.
the only reason anybody knows your name is because anybody like every so often, like, whatever happened to that Nirvana kid? Oh, it was me. Ooh, me. Ooh.
Yeah. He
It's
should
the-
give all
it's
the money back.
5-year It's the 5-year anniversary. It's the 10-year anniversary.
What a douche.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to cleanse our palate of the douche, so we're not just a negative podcast, as we've been trying to be more positive and
Yeah.
get ourselves out of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I
I
have-
have a taste of that kid's dick out of my mouth.
With Jeremy's enlightenment.
Please isolate that little clip right there. I want that clip.
Text message alert right there.
I want that
Oh,
clip
must be
isolated.
Jeremy messaging me.
That's gonna come back to haunt me.
So I have a hero of the week. I don't know if either of you bothered to do a hero, but I have a hero. My hero is a guy named Joe Adele.
Okay.
He is the right fielder for the Angels.
Oh God.
All right.
He was in Baltimore, and some fans were calling for the ball. So he tosses the ball into the stands, and he knocks soda right out of this one kid's hand, just clean right out. Knocks it right out.
Okay.
And instead of being like, haha, you deserved it, you're an Oriole fan. The next inning, he came out with a bat that he signed, and he gave it to the kid, like a full, like a, I don't know if it was game used, probably just one of the ones he has in the backup.
Mhm.
But he gave the kid a signed baseball bat, and the kid was all like, "Screw the Orioles! I love this Joe Adele. I'm an Angel fan now."
Nice.
So you got a hero and a douche in that story. You're gonna be a bandwagon fan just because someone gave you something?
All
Come
right,
on,
the
man.
kid might have not said that.
But that is a nice move. That's a really
kid-
Oh.
The kid did say he was going to be a huge Joe Adele fan for the rest of his life. But
That's fair to be a fan of
Yeah.
the player for something like that.
yeah.
It's always nice to see those interactions.
yeah, that's
I feel like you don't see a whole lot of that in baseball, but you do see a lot of that with like hockey stuff. With them giving kids the pucks or the sticks.
I think you see it a lot in baseball. You just don't watch baseball a lot.
Yeah, this actually just happened pretty recently with a Brewers player.
Manny Pena was giving
That's
kids
right.
gloves
That's
after
right.
he hit his grand slam and his other homer in the same game.
Yeah, that was a nice interaction. Those
And then-
kids became Manny fans for life.
I don't even know if those kids were Brewers fans when he gave them this stuff.
I don't think they were.
No mention of Manny Pena, Nicholas. Why is that?
Because
Because it's a brewer?
MLB TV
Brewer?
blocks out the Brewers, and I can't watch the Brewers. They do. All right. I can watch the Brewer game after the fact. Like, oh, it's already over. Here's the score. How many hits? How many runs? Errors. But if you'd like, you can watch the game now.
That's lame.
No.
But I did see they won today, so man, they're
6-2, I believe.
yeah. That is that team is under the radar. I feel like they're going to do some real damage in the playoffs.
It's all about Milwaukee sports right now.
They got a shot.
414, baby. But yeah, that's a great hero. I agree with you, Nicholas. I like to see people doing good things for the youth of America.
Yeah,
Inspiring.
especially like professional athletes or any celebrity pretty much that does things for kids.
Yeah.
There's something about that. We've probably all met someone who was a celebrity douche in our youth.
Yeah. I could think of a few, but I'll save it.
Yeah.
Because I've met so many famous people. The list goes on and on.
I've never really met a celebrity douche, so
I'm actually curious who yours is, Justin.
let's hear the. I want to hear the story. Sell this guy out.
All right. Well, I'll start the day before. I went to a car show in Milwaukee with my dad, and I met Ray Nitschke. Nicest guy in the world. I was probably about 9 years old. I got my Packer stuff, meeting him, getting it signed, and we're coming back the next day to meet at the time, my favorite Packer, Don Beebe. I got my Don Beebe jersey on. I'm standing in the line. I get the signed picture, and my dad's like, "Hey, can we get a picture of you and my son in his Beebe jersey?" And he's like, "No, we don't have time for pictures. We got to keep the line moving." And he just shoot us along.
Wow.
Or the day before, I met Nitschke, and I got a picture with me, him, and my dad. And the guy came up to him, and he's like, "Hey, you can't talk to the fans so much. You got to keep moving." And he's like, "I will stay here all day until I talk to every one of these people because I'm here because of them."
Wow.
And then the next day, I got that treatment from Don Beebe where I was like, "Oh, all these people are like, oh, the fans. And he's like, "Nope, we don't have time for pictures. Move along."
Hey.
So like a 9-year-old kid wearing a Don Beebe jersey.
Did you burn your BB jersey after that?
I wasn't allowed to play with fire.
I know you weren't allowed to, but I'm sure you probably still did.
I've never worn that. I never wore that jersey again.
Oh, damn you, BB. I didn't have a douche before, but I'm gonna nominate him as my douche of the week.
Yeah,
that's heartbreaking, man.
That's terrible.
Especially after the first interaction of just like, this guy's awesome. He's here for us. To get met with, "Nope, go."
Well, so if the OT or PCR really blows up, what kind are you gonna be like the first guy and just stay as long as we have to?
I will,
whatever it takes.
No pictures, kid. Move on.
The very first time we ever do it. I can't. Sorry, got a lot of shit to do tonight, man.
Can't take pictures of Sasquatch. I'm out.
I was accused of being a chatter earlier today.
A chatter.
Yeah, so somebody who just will talk to anybody. So I imagine that we're going to be in a line where people are going to want to take autographs and pictures, and it's going to be like, "Guy, there's a line. You've been with this one person for an hour. Oh, a couple more minutes."
The people there, like the fans, are going to be trying to leave. Okay, all right.
Okay, that's enough.
I gotta go. All right.
It was really nice meeting you.
Stop talking.
This guy just won't shut up.
Nice.
Did either of you watch the Little League World Series?
I actually did watch a little bit of it.
Did not.
Okay. Did you watch any of the commercials?
Kinda.
Because there was one commercial that caught me off guard.
Okay.
And they played it a couple times. All right. So I was in and out of the house all day because I was dealing with the water and I was mowing the lawn. So I put the Little League World Series on for the dogs. Because
big baseball fans.
They like having noise.
See ball, chase ball.
And then so I was like, I need to eat something real quick. So I'd sit down to eat a little snack or something. And I was watching the Little League World Series, and there was a commercial, and it had a series of couples in their pajamas, or on a bed, all opening a box, and very Pulp Fiction-esque. When you open the briefcase, it's shiny.
Yeah.
But you can't see what's in it.
Uh-huh.
So they're all opening the box away from the screen.
Yeah.
So they're looking at you, basically you're holding the box. Like that's, and then the words start appearing on the screen about how adults need toys too.
Oh yeah.
Oh my.
And sometimes you want to keep things secret, but they said, the commercial then said something about what happens in the bedroom between two consensual. Basically, it was a sex toy commercial, and they were selling a locked toy box.
Yeah,
and they had a whole bunch of. It was a company called Lovers Lane.
Okay, I think I did see this.
Right.
Lovers Lane.
Lovers Lane. I had to Google it because I didn't know if it was an online store. It seems that I might have accidentally picked up the Chicago broadcast, of the Little League World Series. Because there's a Lovers Lane like somewhere down in the Chicago area.
Okay.
Maybe there's one closer. I don't know. I just
Are
I didn't
these
wanna-
like
You didn't dive that much into it. You're just
No, I
like,
didn't.
no, I'm gonna just get this off my phone now.
are these the stores that like pop up on like the side of the road, like on highways, like next to like the cheese shops?
This seemed more like a city news and video store
Okay. Okay.
where like it's a well established, like you know what that store is over there.
Okay.
You just don't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think they would play it during the World Little League World Series?
That's my question. Like it's like, okay, I get showing the commercial, like, maybe showing a little bit later at night, maybe during regular baseball.
Yeah.
Maybe the Sunday night game, the one that are the whatever obscure network, USA or something like that. But during the Little League World Series, doesn't it seem a little bit out of bounds to show a sex toy?
I got a theory on why they had that commercial during that.
Okay.
Because you're watching the Little League World Series and you look over and you see your lump of a child just sitting there doing nothing with their life. And then that commercial makes you think,
Yeah.
maybe if we go there, we can spice things up and we can have a winner.
I like that. It's not too late for us to get a World Series champ
Yeah.
of our own.
This one's not going to support us financially. Man,
I like that.
man.
That's a good theory.
My question is that, like, as a parent, you're watching the Little League World Series. Now, granted, I'm 43 and I don't have kids, so it's already a little weird that I'm watching the Little League World Series.
Oh, you weren't watching it. The dogs were watching it.
Yeah, but I mean,
You don't want to change the channel on them. You don't want to be rude.
Right.
That is true.
You come in, change the channel, they'd be like, what the fuck? I was watching that. Ruff, 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 ruff.
That is true. I mean, they could, that we'll use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
But it does seem that, like, that's a program definitely more dedicated or geared towards having the youth watch it.
Yeah.
I feel like there was definitely some uncomfortable conversations that happened that night. Oh, hey Mom, can we go to Lover's Lane so I can get me a toy box?
I love blind boxes.
I always like a good mystery box.
I want to get me one of those locking toy boxes so my sister stop stealing all my toys. And they're like, wait, what store did you say?
Yeah.
Or
they're sitting there watching the kid, watching it with the kid.
just like don't
Right.
ask me. Just looking at the kid. Don't ask. What's this? Oh shit.
What kind of toys are in that toy box?
I want a glowing toy.
You just have to hope that they're on some sort of device during the commercial breaks and they're not catching on to these ads.
That's true.
Because I've heard this conversation before about, like, you're watching a sporting event or some sort of nice wholesome TV like event that's geared towards the family,
Mhm.
and it cuts to like it's more during Christmas, like, so you're watching like How the Grinch Stole Christmas for like the 30th straight year, and it cuts to commercial for like CSI whatever, and they're like, oh my god, 8 bodies in this refrigerator.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, hey, Charlie Brown, that's the most Charlie Browniest tea ever. I'm gonna rape and murder the next 20 women that walk in. Ooh, next on NCIS, Tacoma.
Yeah. Unfortunate ad placements.
Although I still think the most unfortunate but yet awesome ad placement ever was during Walking Dead. There was a scene in The Walking Dead where there was a couple characters that had gotten trapped into a shed. and one of them just got torn up, like just shredded by the zombies, and it cut to a KFC commercial.
Nice. Oh, that's
Just like, all right. So, oh, hey, look at that. Once again, I forget.
Oh,
I-
I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay. Well then, never
Yeah.
mind. I didn't accidentally leave
Yeah.
my ringtone on.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Nothing.
Okay. So this week on the internet, a conversation popped up and overtook Twitter for a couple hours at least. Red flag movies.
Mhm.
The idea that there's a movie or a TV show that, like, when somebody tells you, "Oh, I love that movie," or "I'm a big fan of that movie," you automatically go, "Ooh."
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't trust this person. Ugh.
They're suspect.
This can't be good.
The examples that they gave on Twitter were Fight Club and Joker.
Oh, okay. I think I did
Because
this wrong then.
Oh,
well, that's okay, because I think I got to thinking about it and I was like, but I love Fight Club. Now I get that, like, it's definitely a satire and, like, you don't want to try to live your life like the narrator / Tyler Durden.
Right.
you don't?
Right. Right. Okay. Put Justin on the red flag. But I guess there's a lot of people recently, or more, in recent times, that have kind of lost the satire and are taking it very seriously, and, like, they're like, we should live our life that way. The Joker being obviously a more recent movie,
Yeah.
I think is a little bit more problematic because of the same kind of, like, I don't know if the movie, because the thing with Fight Club is that because David Fincher has said it, like, he didn't make that movie without, like, knowing that he was trying to make satire.
Mhm.
Joker, I don't know what their concept was there, because they really tried to turn him into a sympathetic villain rather than just a straight, like, evil, malevolent force. But I'm also of the mind that you can enjoy a movie or like a movie
Mhm.
that, the bad guy is the main focus, or the bad guy wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can enjoy a movie for being a good movie and not be like, well, you're a dick.
Right.
So I had asked you guys to come up with a list of red flag movies.
Yeah.
When somebody says this movie is I love this movie, or it's my favorite movie, you're immediately like, I don't trust you.
Right. Okay.
So what do you got?
Okay. Well, so I'm not so sure if I did this the right way, but I have a list. So if someone tells me that their favorite movie is any of those shitty parody movies, I immediately judge their taste in comedy.
Okay.
If someone tells me that they like Jack and Jill, I immediately judge their taste in comedy. I think maybe there's something, like, seriously wrong with their brain. Someone tells me they like Twilight. Again, I have to question. That's a red flag for me. And finally, if someone tells me that their favorite movies are documentaries such as Loose Change or Plandemic, I have to. That's another immediate red flag, and I'm
Okay.
not sure if I want to associate with them.
I had not thought about documentaries, so I had not put Loose Change or Plandemic on there. But add me to that list.
Okay.
That's a good way to go about it too.
Now, yeah, because questioning their taste or their ability to understand good comedy, yes. I wouldn't say somebody who's like, my favorite movie's Date Movie. I wouldn't be in like, well, I just don't trust you. I'd be like, yeah, you might be special needs,
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's not like I wouldn't trust them as a person, but I definitely wouldn't trust their taste or their recommendations.
Like I really struggled coming up with a list of red flag movies myself because like I look through some of the movies that I'm like, these are amazing movies. And I'm like, Fight Club, Seven,
Mhm.
stuff like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I might be on a list. But I did think of D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation. It's that it's really old black and white movie that makes the Ku Klux Klan the hero instead of
Oh,
like it's one of those. It's not the first movie ever, but it's like the first blockbuster or whatever. Like there's a lot of people who maybe it was the first. I can't remember. There was something first about it, but it was basically it's just this giant like you cannot deny how racist it is. So if you're like that's my favorite movie, I'm like, ugh,
yikes.
what was that one director for in Germany? Lenny Riefenstahl. Lenny Riefenstahl.
I'm not sure.
You're speaking German to us.
Worked for the Nazis.
Ah,
Let's see.
Elsa the
What
did-
She-Wolf.
Well, but that's making fun of the Nazis. I think. I don't know. I've
definitely.
never seen it. So Justin, did you have a list?
Well, mine wasn't like specific, like people or that type of stuff, but mine was definitely with like movies. Jeremy took with documentaries. I was thinking about that now. Like people who are talking about like if they watch the Flat Earth documentary,
Yeah.
like the Flat Earthers, I kind of am like, yeah.
Now watched it just to see what they're thinking, or watched it because they're like, yeah, I agree.
Like the people who believe it, like they believe the Earth is flat.
Okay, yeah.
Have
Like
you
the-
actually? Sorry.
But I say I've watched parts of it.
Have you actually run into people like that?
I
I
don't know.
I think they would keep that to themselves. I don't know too many people. We might have.
This happened before we started the podcast, so I don't know if we've had this conversation. But a really good friend of mine in college, whose name I will not mention, just in case, because I do have a lot of friends who I went to college with that are like our podcast, and
Yeah.
the one guy whose podcast we've been promoting, 80s Flick Flashback, is a friend from college. So it's not him. Tim is a great guy. This other guy was one of my best friends in college. He was amazing. Like he'd do anything for $1. It was you'd be like, lick this deodorant. Okay. Lick the front of this truck after we just drove through a bug storm. Hey, it's 20 degrees outside. Go jump in that fountain. But I mean, not just because he'd do anything for
What
$1,
else did he
but
do?
he was, but he was a good guy. Like but he also had some interesting side hustles.
Okay.
Where he sold bootleg porn and adult toys out of his trunk.
Oh my God.
All right. So
Oh.
he's the one that needed that the toy box.
Yeah, he smoked a lot of pot, but would tell us that he could quit anytime it wasn't an addiction, and we'd be like, all right, just don't do it for a week then. Well, I don't want to, but I'm not addicted. Don't do it for don't do it for a week. If you're not addicted, don't do it for. I don't want to give it that. Yeah. But like he was.
Would you
he
tell
was also-
someone that's taking antidepressants to stop taking their antidepressants for a
Well,
week
that's-
too?
That's different.
Oh, is
that-
it? Okay, go on.
All right.
But like he was also like my music friend. Like him and I were into a lot of the same music, a lot of the same movies. Like we went to concerts together. We did. I mean, we hung out a lot.
Mhm.
I graduated, moved on. He graduated, moved on. So we've only kind of briefly kept up with each other. But earlier this year, late last year, he started over the last year or two, he's been posting a lot of really weird stuff on Facebook.
Mm.
and he started going on, like he started posting off some stuff about flat Earth
Uh-oh.
Oh
and
boy.
and about like it was at the it might have been actually longer than a year. It might have been slightly before the COVID thing because he wasn't on that train yet, but it was around the time that was starting, and like he said something about flat Earth, and I messaged him privately, and I was like, I hope you're just kidding about the flat Earth thing, but like, dude, like seriously, it's coming off like you might actually
Like you're
believe it,
fucking nuts.
like it's come. And so I just want to make sure that you're just trying to be funny. And he was like, "No, man, like why?" And he starts going off about this, and so like he's like, "You can't prove." And so like I was like, "I can prove that the Earth is round. Look at it. Like we've got pictures from space. Well, nobody's actually been to space. Those are they totally believes in that that NASA's a complete lie. Those photos are all faked. Like you can't get past that one layer of atmosphere. You've heard the theories before,
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
Van
have a good
Ryan belt or whatever
yeah.
it's called.
We all
right?
have a
And
good
he
conspiracy
tried
theory here.
he tried to say that like flat Earth was biblical, and that's when I think that's probably when I was finally like, whoa, hold on, buddy.
Mm.
Like you can make fun of flat Earth and you can talk about flat Earth all you want, but now that you're bringing like you and I went to the same college,
Mm-hmm.
we had a lot of the same classes together. I know what you were taught. That's not it.
Mm-hmm.
And he, what did he call me? How did he put it? He called me a beta male bitch.
Wow,
Um,
that's harsh.
Yeah, and there was some other things, and I was finally like, dude, when you get your shit together, contact me. But until then, like, just leave me alone. Like, we're done. And he just started spamming me with all these like the sites or whatever about how he could try to prove that the Earth is flat.
Hmm.
And I was like, I can easily disprove every one of these. And I had to block him. Like I blocked a friend over flat Earth.
Oh my goodness, that's
Wow.
crazy, man. And he wasn't like this at all when you were in college.
I mean, if you go back and see the fact that he went to extremes with a lot of things, like after he watched The Matrix, he stopped using spoons
Yeah.
because of that one scene in The Matrix. I just marked that down as that he was a pothead.
Wow.
You are, and you realize now, like you go back and you're like, oh, there were signs that once he gets a hold of an idea, like
It's over.
it's
Too-
over. Like it
too
It's
late.
becomes
over.
obsessive.
It's over, Johnny.
And so I don't know if it was he found the
over,
wrong websites or he fell in line with the wrong crowd. But
Is it because you moved away and you weren't there to
Hmm.
guide
no,
him?
because he
No,
moved
he
back.
was already-
He was too
No,
far.
because
gone for that.
even if I had stayed in Atlanta, he had moved back down to Florida. So
Wow.
he
Those
yeah,
Floridians, I tell you.
Yeah, something in the
Yeah,
water
he-
over there.
like the level of crazy that he started coming at me with when I tried to call him out on some of it was just like I might need to contact CPS and get your kids taken away.
Oh man, I didn't know that there was kids involved.
Because you are probably fucking your kids up.
Yeah. Well, hopefully,
Ah,
it's he learns the errors of his ways.
I hope so.
So what's are we giving? Is a lesson here that stay away from drugs?
Well,
stay away from flat earthers.
I think it's more about stay away from flat earthers.
Okay.
Because I'm not
Okay.
I'm not gonna blame the pot for his craziness. It didn't help.
No, it amplified the person that was already there.
Like it definitely doesn't. And the thing is like and part of it was I did at some point I called him out on it. I was like, dude, you and I went to college together. We spent a lot of time drinking behind the church across the street and smoking cigars.
Yeah.
I know what you used to sell out of your trunk. You know,
Mhm.
I know the eBay scams you used to pull. So don't pull this self-righteous, all this crap now. Like,
Yeah.
I know who you are. It was like, okay, you've fallen in with some wrong people,
Wow,
And
that's
I
crazy.
will say I do know that people can change and
Mhm.
people grow up, but there's a level,
Yeah. But you're still, if he were to reach out and be like, all right, I was wrong, you'd be
He-
open to that.
I would
Yeah,
be.
Nicholas blocked him.
I did block him, but
Oh no, how would I reach out to Nicholas and tell him I was wrong?
there are ways that he would be able to get to me.
Okay.
What
about-
they're
Sorry.
mutual friends.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. What about that one dude that we pissed off, or rather he pissed us off and then we cut off all communication with him?
I don't know. I have not heard from him in a while.
All right.
Like I did notice that like him and I are still friends on Snapchat. So like I don't, but
well,
we've
there's
just
that.
so like I don't know if it's just because both of us are too lazy to like take each other off from Snapchat or like whatever. But neither of us work at that same place anymore.
Oh
So-
yeah, right.
So I just who knows.
Okay.
Huh.
Fuck him.
He's probably long since over it.
I haven't gotten over it. He called us Bush League, and I will never forget that.
The podcast that
okay.
holds grudges.
That is true.
It's like over 8 years later.
Wow.
Um,
Hey, I'm still mad at Don Beebe, and that's been like over 25
that's
ish years.
well. Let's keep. Yeah, good. Don't let it go.
Yeah.
Man, how did we get here?
I
Oh,
don't
from
know.
the red flag.
Red
discussion.
flag
Yeah.
movies. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So basically, we're saying that red flag movies are more of documentaries that people are like, "I love this documentary," than the actual movies.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. I can
Yeah.
live with that.
Especially with some of the movies that we like, people are probably
Yeah.
like, all right, this guy's not right.
Yeah.
I love Sharknado. Check.
Red
Who,
flag.
who doesn't?
Yeah. Who doesn't? That's the real question.
Hey,
Oh.
hey, Justin, you want to see me shock Jeremy again?
Like literally?
Like the way we did that one time?
Like
All
the
right.
Robin Williams.
It's like the Robin Williams. Jeremy? Ed Asner passed away this morning.
No, not Ed Asner. I mean, he was like in his 90s, wasn't he?
He's old.
He was 91. So I had to look him up, and I was just because I was curious. So obviously he was on Mary Tyler Moore, followed by Lou Grant. But man, he has 421 acting credits.
Holy fucking crap.
Wow.
Dude started whatever he started, and he never stopped.
That's amazing.
He was
1950. It says he's when he started.
I mean, I mean, that's like porn star level putting out.
Yeah.
He was J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man cartoon in the 90s.
Wow.
He was Hudson on the Gargoyles, which I believe is a cartoon we all love. right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
He was Granny Goodness in multiple DC animated movies.
Oh my god.
He was Carl from Up.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Santa from Elf.
Oh, nice.
He won 7 primetime Emmys, which is more than any other male has ever won.
Wow. What a
He also won
monster.
5. He also won 5 Golden Globes. I knew Ed Asner was a big deal until this morning or until this afternoon when I looked it up. I didn't realize how big a deal he really was. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That's quite a resume. That's very impressive.
So wow.
I honestly though, you could have told me he was already dead. I probably would have believed you, but it doesn't take anything away.
I figured as much. I didn't figure it would get the same Robin Williams reaction. I'm not sure anything will ever get that reaction.
I don't think so. I don't think anything will top that. I legitimately was stunned when you guys told me that.
It's a good thing you don't hold a grudge against people who were on the podcast with you.
No. But that's man, great. Good on him.
Okay, well, just because I think we need to do it, but I know we've been going for a little while now.
Yeah.
Let us move on with our favorite segment.
Yeah. So,
You bastard again.
well, what the fuck? Are you gonna say it?
Yeah, I was like, all right, so
Say it.
no, let's go. Let's
There's so much air. I didn't know. I felt like someone had to say something. I'm sorry. I wasn't gonna do it.
on to America's podcast.
No,
On to America's Got Talent. Let's go.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I guess we should have asked before we started, but did you watch it this week?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Justin?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
So can we, as we're going through the acts, just tell everybody if they were eliminated or not? Is that possible?
Just kind of a quicker recap because of the time already.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Justin, you might have to remind me because I wrote it down the way I normally do.
Randomly?
Well, no, like I wrote down my impression of each thing, and then I got down to the, like, the fact that these three people were and
Okay.
then this person versus that person. Okay, so my first impression was, what the fuck? How did Storm Large win the wild card?
Yeah.
I mean, now granted, you guys didn't watch the wild card show, so you didn't see what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
But of the guys that were on the wild card, she was the worst one, hands down. The worst one.
Who were the other ones again?
Dylan Vangwell.
Wasn't he the piano kid?
Yeah, he was the piano kid.
There was him. There was the guy who lost his wife, singer. There was the Kobe guy, singer.
Okay.
Okay,
that's on there.
There was the magician who did a lot of the close-up card magic, who was really good.
Okay.
There was the guy who lost his wife in the Kobe crash, and then there was a stand-up comedian. Now, the guy who lost his wife in the Kobe crash was okay, but so I would have ranked him Dylan, magician, comedian, guy who lost his wife, Storm Large.
Okay.
She was terrible.
Wow.
And somehow she won the wild card. I don't get it. I really don't.
Shit's rigged, man.
It is.
All right. So on to the
episode.
Okay, on to the episode. So the first act was
Unicycle Flow came out first.
all right. Cool in a weird way, but I was impressed.
Yep.
I said felt more like a halftime act than Vegas headliner.
Okay.
Like coming out at the halftime of like a Bucks game or something. Just
I could see that. Like it would be hard to picture as a lengthy thing.
Yeah, as like a headlining hour-long act.
Yeah, I thought that maybe that martial arts demonstration that comes through every couple of years.
Yeah,
that they're always that they advertise for at like whenever those fancy theaters are downtown.
Yeah,
like I thought maybe they would do they could be part of that or something.
Yeah,
but since we are this one I happen to know they went through.
They went through.
Yes,
they advanced.
They were the judges picked them 3-1. The judges
no controversy.
No controversy this time. They didn't take the cheap way out. They actually picked them. Okay.
Anika, I think that's how you say that. A singer was the next one. I put she was definitely better the first time. Took a step back.
Jeremy, you got it? You got anything?
I mean, I would agree with that.
I wrote, this is AGT, not the ETBT.
All right.
That's good.
She
Yeah.
was awful
Yeah.
and got voted out, understandably so.
Yes. Next was Leah Kyle, who was she the quick change artist?
Yep.
hmm
Again, I liked her first performance better. This one was still good, but her first one was better.
I agree. But it was still, I listened back to the last episode and I said, wow, I think week 3 looks like it's got a strong lineup. Like it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
I must have cursed it because, man, almost everybody on this list took a step back. Like
I thought the same thing watching it. I was like, this is not like the strong.
There's 1 or 2 that really stepped up, but most everybody took a huge step back.
Yeah, this was mostly Bush League. But she did go on.
Yep, she went through.
I guess I don't remember her first performance all that well because I was pretty impressed with this one. I liked all the stuff.
I'm still impressed because I don't know how they're doing the quick change outfit in front of you. They're not doing like the pull the curtain up and then drop it. You know?
Yeah, it's just like you
That's
snap
crazy.
your fingers and you change your outfit.
I don't understand that at all.
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
Okay, followed by Curtis Family C Notes. Also felt the same way. This performance wasn't as good as the first.
What have I been saying about song choice and how important song choice is?
Don't let your parents pick your song choice.
They made a very bad song choice, and then they chose not to do anything to it. Like they just did it straight, and they went home for it.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you make bad song choices.
Right.
Then we had Keith Apicary, the crazy ass dancer.
Yeah.
Again, I put halftime show.
Now you really liked him, didn't you, Jeremy?
I mean, I was familiar with him from like some of his previous stuff I've seen on YouTube. He's actually done like some other things before, and I liked his first one. His
first one was entertaining. This one was just boring.
Yeah, like nothing like really made me laugh or like wowed me. It was just like, all right, dude, like your 15 minutes is up.
My thing was like, this guy got on over Dylan Vingwall or some of the other acts, even acts that I can't remember the name of, that like, because there was like 58 or 60 something acts they said yes to, and only 36 that got on the show.
Yeah.
You guys chose this guy over some of them?
Well, and Sethward too. Think about that.
Yeah, look at that's a bad one.
Yeah. These two, him and Sethward, I don't think should have been anywhere in the lives.
At least Keith Apicary has like really good high level energy and a good stage presence, and the song was catchy. There's some positives here.
But he did not go on.
No, he did not.
He did not.
Then you had Michael Winslow,
who, for being an established comedian, he fell apart.
Yeah,
like that was sad.
Yeah, kind of boring was my note.
Yeah,
like he just started making sounds. Like he didn't even have like a set or like.
Yeah, it's kind of trying to tell a story about crossing a street.
Yeah, and
then he's like, and then he's like, all right, I can do a horse, I can do ducks, I can do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wasn't cohesive at all. It just the first one was good though, wasn't it? It was like actually like a funny stand-up routine.
Right. It was like he just like was coasting on the fact that like
he's Michael Winslow.
He's been a stand-up comedian for 40 years or however long he has been, and like just didn't pick a set. Like he was just like, oh, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna go out there, and then like he forgot whatever his set was. I don't know.
Yeah,
but he fell apart.
It was awkward.
But he went on.
He did.
Do you think he won the instant save on name recognition alone?
I didn't know how he went on, but okay. I just looked
I
it
can
up.
see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could. See
Oh, I know this guy. Let's vote for
Yeah.
him.
Oh, that's the guy from Police Academy.
I liked
that's
that
the-
movie when I was a kid.
That's the guy from Spaceballs.
Right.
Yeah.
Followed by Brooke Simpson.
No, what did she sing again? I forgot.
I don't remember what she sang, but
I don't remember what she's saying either.
I wrote best performance so far, and then I'm gonna amend that to best performance of the night. Like she blew it. Like
Yeah.
not blew it. I was gonna say blew the
Blew it
house
away.
down. Blew it away. Blew the house down.
Oh yeah, she sang that Billie Eilish song.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I put real good talent. Could possibly win it all.
She has a shot. After over some of the weak people who got through the last 2 weeks, if she shows up in the semifinals or the finals, bringing the fire like she brought,
Yeah.
last night, or I guess not last night, but a couple, this
Yeah.
week,
Whenever, yeah.
like
Yeah, for sure. Obviously she went on.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, was it Raul Chris?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Real Chris?
Real Chris,
Yeah.
real, yeah.
Yeah, the three brothers acrobats. So
Dude,
they
that
were,
that is a level of strength that I don't understand.
yeah, the strength and the concentration it takes to do that.
I mean, I've seen some of it in years past, but it was a strong act overall. Like I thought they did really good,
Mhm.
so I wasn't mad they went through.
Not sure how much further they'll go though. I don't know if that's like a lot of these
It's-
felt like halftime acts, halftime shows. Like that
Yeah.
guy who comes out and stacks the chairs.
Well, I mean, there's that red panda lady who does the bowls and like rides around on the unicycle and throws the bowls. I saw her on AGT a few years ago, and now apparently she makes quite a living going around doing NBA halftime shows.
Yeah, I
So-
seen. I don't. It was an older guy that used to like stack chairs. He was on America's Got Talent. I seen him at a halftime show at the Bucks game.
Oh.
So
Interesting.
yeah. Anyway, next one of Nicholas's favorites, Chap
Hmm.
Kids Dance Group.
Nothing I hadn't seen before. I was bored.
Yep.
And you get to see it one more time, minimum.
Minimum, yeah.
I don't.
Hopefully
I mean,
the last.
that ended up being Chap Kids versus Curtis Family C Notes or whatever they were. I had wrote it was the wrong choice, but I didn't necessarily agree with. I didn't disagree with the Curtis Family being sent home.
Yeah, they dropped
But
the ball.
When I at the end of the episode before I watched the results show, I looked through and went, "There's only like 5 acts, maybe 6 that I would pick to go through. There's somebody going through that doesn't deserve it." And
You think it was this one?
yeah, absolutely. But they went through because them and Michael Winslow both went through because there were a lot of other bad acts.
Yeah. This was a real rough week, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, Storm Large. Singing a different version of Take On Me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Sure.
Not
Pretty weak.
immediately proved why she didn't deserve to win the wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
It was bad.
Yeah,
I did wonder if she had some assets that were going to get her voted through,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
That certainly helps.
it didn't help enough to get her to go on, though.
No, it does not.
No. Only gets you so far. Next up was Klek Entos, creepy magician.
I wanted it to be good.
so did I.
Same.
It just he fucked up.
Okay, so you caught that.
Yeah, yeah. She
I thought I was the only one.
she touched the 14, right? I
Right.
mean, yeah.
He just kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you picked 13.
Yeah.
No, I touched 14. They glossed over it.
Yeah.
And then none of the judges brought it up.
no,
like-
yeah. That was
I kept-
awkward.
I kept waiting for Simon to be like, so yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be the reason why he did the X in the first place. But
Oh,
no,
No,
yeah.
it was
mean-
such a cool concept, though. I mean, a horror magician. That's neat.
right,
but-
right in our wheelhouse. Things we
Yeah.
like here on this podcast.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I going into the act, I wanted to like it. I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to like, really hit.
Mhm.
And then, like I picked him to go through solely on like I liked the concept
Mhm.
over like Chap Kids.
Do you vote
But-
for these people?
No, because I never watch them
Oh.
in time.
All right.
Like like I don't watch it. What is it? Tuesday night it airs.
Yeah.
I was like this week. I think we watched them both on Thursday. So like, like I don't know. I don't know how they do it because I don't know how many people really watch this stuff live anymore.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, well, we only had 10 votes this week because
The only people left watching cable.
They should leave it open longer because of that
Well,
reason. Because people,
but
so
they
many
do the
people
results.
stream. Yeah.
So like they show the episode Tuesday night and then the results show us Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So how could they leave it open longer? I mean,
Um,
they're already
Here's the
pushing
theory.
the show. I mean, it is a good theory, but I mean, you're gonna extend like if you had to put a week in between each.
Maybe you don't show the results on TV. Then you just open the polls for a week, and then on their website or whatever, it'll be like these are the X that went through. These are the X that went home.
Yeah.
eh,
I mean, a lot of the
Okay.
results show is a lot of just filler garbage that
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
don't need.
Like
Like
past contestants and
Okay,
The driver's
so-
ed thing was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. It was so stupid.
Yeah.
And it was just another way to bring Darcy Lynn back out.
Yeah. What is there especially with Darcy Lim?
Well, and Shin Lim, I love Shin Lim. I think he's great.
Yeah.
But man, that guy won't stop being on that show either.
Yeah. It's weird.
Oh, and Lindsay Sterling,
Oh yeah.
like she
yeah.
she keeps showing up all the time too.
Yeah.
And she won her. It was on her like season like 4 or something like that. So
Mhm. Yeah.
um,
It's weird too. Like they show 10 fucking minutes of what you watched last night. Like, cause
Now-
I counted it. I was like, this is 10 minutes.
do you do what I do? Fast forward.
Oh yeah.
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh
I
yeah.
fast forward. Because I just watched the episode like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I don't need a recap on it.
I mean,
fast
even if you
forward.
watched it the night before, I mean, do you need to see all those things again? Like that's
Yes, that's right.
insane.
Yeah, the polls are closed and it's fresh in your mind. Like, oh, I already
Yeah.
voted. I can't change my mind now.
So I fast forward through the recap, let them talk, let Terry talk a little bit, and then when they get to let's go to the fresh like pop it. I don't even know what they're calling it now. It used to be the Poppin' Fresh Lounge or the
It's that.
Snapple Lounge.
Yeah, it's
It's
that
a
Sonic
yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Sonic.
quick bite or something like that.
yeah, whatever that. I fast forwarded through that
Yeah.
'cause that's
That's all garbage.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
And-
so excited to be here. Of course you are.
Yeah. What else are you gonna
we
say?
know you're excited. Yeah. Why am I still here? I should have been sent home months ago.
I don't deserve this.
I have also fast forwarded through special acts in the past. This
Yeah.
year I haven't,
Yeah.
but I've been like, you brought out who? That's fine.
Yeah.
And then the last act of tonight was the World Taekwondo demonstration team.
Great job.
Yeah.
started a little slow, but it got real good towards the end. So yeah, they went through.
Yeah.
And normally big groups, I don't feel like I could watch for a suspended period, but I mean, I could watch those guys for a while. I feel.
I think
know.
they do, even though they're a large group, they do a good job of keeping your attention
Mhm.
like in the one area.
Yeah.
Where some of the other ones like that, the unicycle one, there's just so much going on, you don't know where to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys are like, okay, you watch here, you watch here. So it keeps your attention better than being like, okay, I got to try to track this all.
Yeah. And I feel like
I-
those guys could craft a story pretty well. Like they have the message already. Like if they were asked, like, okay, now we need you to do like a full on thing. Like I feel like they have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So I was a little shocked that the judges went 3-1 unicycle over Storm Large, just because
We're
Well-
expecting 2-2.
I was expecting 2-2. I actually expected the judges to pick Storm Large over the unicycle
Hmm.
because she won the wild card and they wanted to be proven right. But
Yeah.
I think they understood. Like even they were like, "Yeah, you fell apart." Like, I mean, but that has to make them look bad, right? Like, or make the show look bad. They put together this whole wild card thing, put it on Peacock. And then like she comes out, falls apart, and gets voted off. Like
Right away, yeah.
Yeah.
right away. Like if she
Oh,
had made it to the
we
semi,
saved you. Oh, you suck.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Oops. Yeah.
Our bad, guys.
That's
Yeah.
what a waste of time. Oh well.
Can't win them all.
Yeah.
all right. So any parting wisdom? Anything else? Any news stories? Anything anybody wants to bring up?
Oh boy. I don't
This-
have much.
I'd say this late in, probably not.
Okay.
I watched Suicide Squad. I liked it a lot.
All right, we'll
Yeah.
recap that. We'll
That's
recap
my
that
quick
next,
review. Yeah.
next week.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're a bad dancer, or at least try to build an act on pretending like you're a bad dancer, or you've somehow sneakily won a wild card that you didn't deserve because you have two assets that you put out on front, or maybe you picked 14 over 13. Just remember, America, stupid never walks alone.
Always ask
Shut
what
up.
what I'm doing.
Just kidding.
Oh.
No kid acts.
Nicholas hates Kid X and animals
Hey,
and choirs.
Choirs, definitely
I love-
choirs.
I love animals, choirs and kid acts. They
They can
Operas,
fuck right off with the
Yeah,
choirs.
operas, Kid X, choirs,
Yeah.
nurses,
Giant group dances.
freedom.
Just people in general, really.
yeah, you're not too far off. All right, so we should probably start doing this, huh?
That's a good idea.